Okay, so here we have two superheroines from the Marvel Universe, Black Widow and Captain Marvel. So the reason being is I'm going to continue to do some presentation. Yesterday I did one on Modesty Blaze. Now I'm going to do one on another character called the Baroness. Plus Raven, the Miss from Sis, Honey West, and Sue Lin from the Girl Factory. So hope you enjoyed the video. So here's the first in the series. And this is the Ecstasy Connection um, by a guy named Paul Kenyon. Now, the Baroness series featured a main protagonist named Penelope St. John Orsini. Now, the Baroness basically was a widow and became the heir to this baron's fortune. And I think, if I can remember correctly, when I read the novel, um, she became bored with her kind of lifestyle and decided to go into becoming a spy. And so she developed skills in the martial arts and in fighting, and she became this super spy heroine um, named the Baroness. So this is the first in the novel, the first in the series of novels, and it's called The Ecstasy Connection. And here we have the second one. Um, Diamonds Are for Dying, as again by Paul Kenyon. The covers for the series were done by a guy named Hector Garrido. And Hector Garrido was famous for doing the Destroyer series by Warren Murphy and Richard Sapir. The Destroyer series, like this series, featured covers that kind of told the content of the story. Um, of course, the Destroyer's main protagonists are Remo Williams and Chun, his North Korean sidekick, or more like his North Korean teacher of the martial arts of Sunanju. So this is the second book, The Baroness, Diamonds Are for Dying. Kind of an imitation title of the James Bond, Ian Fleming, Diamonds Are Forever. And then we have the third book in the series, and this is Death is a Ruby Light. Again, you can see all of the contents in the story based on the cover. That's what I think Garrido brought to his painted covers. And here's number 4 in the series, Hardcore Murder. Number 5, Operation Doomsday. Nice cover. I like the blue in the background. Number 6 in the series, Sonic Slave. Number 7, Flicker of Doom. And just look inside for that. I'm curious always about the publication thing. So here we have, yeah, Flicker of Doom is the last in the series. So this is the second printing. Yeah, these books were not just printed, not just published by Pocket Books, but they were also published in Great Britain by another publisher. So this is Flicker of Doom. And then we have the last one in the series, and this is Black Gold. You'll see the martial arts poses there. Yeah, there's the last in the series. Nice cover. All right. And then we come to another series of novels that I like to present. And these are actually earlier than both the Modesty Blaze novels and the Baroness. This is Honey West, and this is a picture of actually Anne Francis from the TV series. The books were actually published before the TV series, obviously. First coming out, I think, in the 1950s, late 50s, by Gloria and Forrest Fickling. And this is number one, the number one in chronology in terms of stories that were published. And this is This Girl for Hire, Honey West. Number two, A Gun for Honey. And here we have similar covers. The only thing that's different is probably the corner, that corner picture with Anne Francis, and that's from one of the TV series. And this is the paperback original cover. This is the first edition. A Gun for Honey. She has, I think it was delivered on the part of the writers, but she has a kind of Marilyn Monroe look. It was a deliberate thing done by both these writers. They wanted that look. Great fun reads, by the way, and straightforward mystery, action adventure stories. Honey West is a martial artist, private eye. You see that in the TV series, which you can watch on YouTube, and you also see that and read that in the novels. So this is Girl on the Loose. This is Honey in the Flesh, and this is obvious. This book needs an upgrade. Booksellers usually do this when they don't want to resell the book. They're brought back and then they cut the corners. So this is Honey in the Flesh. This is Kiss for a Killer. Again, similar cover. Then you have there Anne Francis in all her glory. I forget the name of that type of cat. It's not a cat. It's not a tiger or a lion or anything like that. It's something else. It's not a puma. So that's Kiss for a Killer. Here we have another paperback original. Beautiful painted cover. Good girl art style cover. G.G. Fickling. And you flip the page and guess what? That is them. So the creator of Honey West is actually two people. To keep up with Honey, you'd have to be. The husband and wife team of Skip and Gloria Fickling. Here Skip and Gloria proudly display the first 7 Honey West books in their studio. So there you go. And you can see in the background, if you pay attention, if you really look closely, there is a painted cover which is behind their heads of the novels. So there you go. Blood and Honey. And I have 2 copies of this. It's Bombshell. There you go. Same one, only rougher copy. I obviously upgraded it. And then we have The Miss from Sis. And there's 3 books in this series. And the books are by a writer named Bob Trelins. Yeah, you see it on the right-hand side there. So the adventures are about Lee Crossley, who works for the Society of International Security. And they're a spy, kind of spy organization. So the head of this organization is a woman, and her name is Maggie O'Malley, or MOM for short, Mom, who works from her houseboat in Miami Beach. So Sis exists to right the wrongs created by men, according to the stories. Unlike some of the other later kind of sexploitation books, The Miss from Sis is not sexploitation, but rather um, straight adventure. So this is the first book in the series, The Miss from Sis. And then we have The Chic Chick Spy. Beautiful cover, actually. I like the yellow. Um, yeah, really amazing hyperbole there. Oh, that's the Miss from Sis. And here's the third book in the series, or The Ring-a-Ding UFOs. So that's number 3. All right, so the next one I want to show you is a rather obscure one. And this is Sue Lynn Kelly in a series of 3 books, 3 novels, The Girl Factory by a guy named Robert Franklin Murphy. And this is the first edition paperback published by Zebra Books and featuring Sue Lynn in martial arts style poses. All of the covers of these 3 books have that. They have kind of martial arts stances. And Sue Lynn is based, the name Sue Lynn comes from the Enter the Dragon movie where Angela Mao Ying, the famous martial arts actress. Anyway, the writer obviously modeled and tried to cash in on the martial arts craze of the 1970s, and that's when these books were published. So this is the first in the series, The Girl Factory. It's adult reading, so definitely not recommended for kids. And here we have the same book, but I like this cover better, actually. This is the Muse books, published in Great Britain. Same book, The Girl Factory, Robert Franklin Murphy. Again, featuring in a kind of martial arts stance. This is the second book in the series, and it's called The King's Mate. And you can notice there's a kind of a chessboard at the bottom there, checkerboard. Well, that's because King's Mate is actually intrigue that takes place at a chess tournament. They're fast, easy reads, competently written adventure stories. And this is the last book in the series, and sometimes erroneously considered to be just a reprint, but it's not. It's a paperback original first edition, and it's the 3rd book in the Girl Factory series, The Man-Made Woman. Yeah, and this one's a bit, you can see it takes the trope of science fiction and the clones. That's why it's called The Girl Factory, because Sue Lynn is often cloned in the novels. So really kind of different series. Potentially could have been a great series, but went off in its own direction, I think, based on what the writer wanted to write about, I guess. So this is The Man-Made Woman, 3rd book in the Girl Factory series. The next one I wanted to show you, interesting one. This is Raven. It's a sword and sorcery series, enjoyable reads actually, fast-paced, similar to the Michael Moorcock Elric series, similar to the Robert E. Howard Conan series, featuring maps and lost worlds and so on and so forth. All of the tropes that you'd see in sword and sorcery fiction. But nice reads, actually, and aimed for an adult audience, obviously. You can see by the cover. This is the not the first. This is by Richard Kirk. And Richard Kirk are two writers, Angus Wells and the acclaimed, actually, fantasy novelist Robert Holdstock. So this one was written by both of them. Sword Mistress of Chaos. This is the Ace paperback editions of Ravens. So this is number 2. This is A Time of Ghosts, and this one was written only by Robert Holdstock, according to his website. Now, Robert Holdstock actually died young. I believe he was in his 50s. Died of E. coli, of all things. A great writer, but this is in his early years as a writer when he was beginning to write. He wrote many actually really good pulp novels under various pseudonyms, and this is one of them, A Time of Ghosts. Second book, published by Ace. And here we have the third book in the series, and this one was written by Angus Wells. The Frozen God. The Frozen God. So these books, Raven books, are really like, if you know the Conan stories, they're a lot like Red Sonja. And I do have, I didn't show them, I'm not showing them today anyways, but I do have the Red Sonja books. There's 5 of those. This is the 4th book in the series, Lord of Shadows, and this one is written by Robert Holdstock. Nice cover, featuring a lot of the things that you find in the books, actually. Yeah, similar, and then they love doing maps in fantasy novels, and they do it in the Elric series and the Conan books. You see it in the Lord of the Rings. So this is the world of Raven. They're fun to read. Very enjoyable reads, actually, especially the ones written by Robert Holdstock. Very gifted writer. This is the 5th in the Ace editions of A Time of Raven, Time of Dying. This is by Angus Wells, and as writing by Richard Kirk. So the first novel was written by Holdstock and Wells, and the second one was written only by Holdstock, the third one by Wells, and the 4th one by Robert Holdstock. So this one was the last in the series, number 5, A Time of Dying. Beautiful cover. It tells you some of the background. And this is the 3rd book, The Frozen God. And as we know, this book was written by Angus Wells. Fun read. Beautiful cover. And this is the 4th book by Holdstock. This is the Corgi book editions. And the Corgi book editions are actually the first editions. They were originally published in Great Britain, and they are the first edition of these books. So if you see there, first printing, copyright, Corgi edition 79. So if you're going to collect the series, these have superior covers, by the way, the Corgi book editions. I would urge you to do that. Collect the Corgi book editions. So I'm missing number 1 and 2 of the series, which I intend to eventually get one of these days if and when I find them. And here is number 5 in the series, and I have 2 copies of this. And this is A Time of Dying. Beautiful cover by Corgi Books. All right, so that's some of the books that I'm collecting of the many of like Modesty Blaze featuring women, leading women protagonists. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, like, you can comment now and subscribe, and I'll be presenting more videos of my extensive collection. So thanks for watching. Okay, bye.